I think there are like a series of things that we are trying to address with Facebook Lite. So if you look at it, like the first thing is like just the size of the app, and which is like sub 1 MB. And the other one is like if you look at it, the number of like types of devices that we want to support. So no matter the specs, no matter the CPU, memory, and storage size, we want Facebook Lite to work well. And connection quality is like one of those ingredients. So making sure that we work well on like spotty connections where connection speeds are low. It could be 2G, it could be 3G, like you could have spotty connections even on like higher connection speeds. So just holistically, like these are broadly the three big areas we want to address, along with like reducing data usage. So I would say like it is not necessarily aimed at just like 2G performance, to your point, which again, like in a couple of years things could be much better. But the goal is like across the board, these are barriers that we found that people like cared about the most, and these are problems we wanted to solve to offer people the best possible Facebook experience. The last 3-4 years, like we have been investing heavily on improving the main Android app. So like everything you just described, like we have been working a lot to get the experiences right, like for a while. So it was roughly like 4 years back when we actually made the turn from being like a web first company to a mobile first company. So a lot of the problems you described, like these have been things like Facebook has been at the forefront in terms of like tackling and kind of like defining where and how the industry kind of moves forward on mobile app development. So these are things that have always been on a radar and things that we have been investing heavily on. But the difference now is like we actually wanted to ask ourselves a question instead of trying to like, besides investing in the main app and trying to improve things, which is something we take seriously and will continue to do, like what if we build something ground up? What if we also try to tackle this problem from a different way and say, hey, these are like the big problems which we define: working on any phone, reducing data usage, and like working well on poor connections. And like, can we do a significantly like better job in terms of addressing some of the barriers? And that's how Lite was born. That's completely like orthogonal from this. Like for us, like what triggered the Lite development was like basically hearing from people and doing a lot of research on the ground. So like our motivations were like, what can we do better to improve the Facebook experience for the 1.4 billion people using the app? And so this was basically like coming out of all the research and feedback from people in terms of like us identifying some of these problems. And we said like, it doesn't matter, no matter what phone you are on, no matter what connection you are on, our goal was to make sure that you have like a great, like best in class possible Facebook experience. And that's kind of like what motivated us to build Lite. So we don't have like any specific stats to share about the number of people using mobile web, but like in India, like 125 million people use Facebook every month, which is like a stunning number, right? Sure. So, and this continues to grow at a rapid clip. So our goal was like we know the next billion people that we want to connect and provide like a good experience to make the world more open and connected are going to come from developing countries, are going to come from markets where we are going to see like similar challenges that we just described. So like Facebook Lite is like a step in that direction to make sure that like we provide the best experience for everyone. One of the things that we tried at Facebook is disrupting ourselves. So like our goal is to like build the best possible products, and like so in this case it actually made sense. There was like a big enough demand for another Facebook Android app. So we take like building a new interface or a new app very seriously. So we actually have been testing Facebook Lite for the last 6 months. So we started off in late January. We launched the app in a few countries in Africa and Southeast Asia, and the feedback from people was overwhelming. And like people even outside those countries like went out of the way to try and get their hands on the app. So like once we knew there was demand, and once we also realized like people actually wanted to get their hands on the app, so we took a while. We perfected the app experiences and made sure that this is something we wanted to invest in for the long run before we actually committed to rolling out Lite, which we announced on June 4th. It's just that video is not supported in V1. So the question was basically the trade-off between like getting something to market versus like building out all the features possible. So we like, for example, like if you wanted to like get every single feature in, like it would probably take us months more to even start the rollout. So I think it was just a question of like, how do we get the app out soon for like people to actually like enjoy the new experience while making certain trade-offs. But like not specifically video, but in general, like the features that we think like people want from Facebook Lite, we are going to like invest heavily like in the coming weeks and months to make sure like whatever that we hear from people, we are going to like actively work on and making the app even better. At this point, like we just made the product decision that like for V1, like video support will not be available, because the other thing we also wanted to do when we do videos is like get video right, in terms of like, for example, like 2G performance, working on any phone, using less data. To do all those things and enable video is again a non-trivial challenge. So like this is something like we will continue to like evaluate and look at to see like when it makes sense for us to enable additional features. So our goal with Facebook Lite, like first and foremost, is like the people who are using Facebook today, like how do we provide the best possible experience for them? And like if it actually helps like people who are new to Facebook come online, even better. So but the fundamental goal here is like we felt like there are like more work to do in terms of making sure we deliver the best possible Facebook experience for the 1.5 billion users, and like that is like the first and foremost goal for Facebook Lite. Right now, Lite has limited support. Like it doesn't have like all the features that you would find either in the standalone app or even the main app. So the thing that we wanted to do is like we wanted to start with all the core experiences and giving people like enough of everything they like and want to use Facebook on. So now we are going to like continue to look at what people like give us feedback in terms of what else they would like to see, and like we will continue to invest heavily in making sure like we like enable more features, like for example on pages and groups, as well as like improving like the performance fundamentally, like continuing to reduce data usage and like improving like how it works on any device. So this will be like something like we do on an ongoing basis moving forward.